Psalm 13 is a prayer written by David that expresses his anguish at the apparent absence of God in his life. In this narrative, we will see how David got through this difficult period, crying out to God in prayer and renewing his confidence in his power and mercy. This prayer is an expression of the spiritual struggle we can all face in our lives, but it is also a testament to God's faithfulness in sustaining and strengthening us in times of trouble. David was going through a difficult period in his life. He felt that God had turned away from him and was no longer listening to his prayers. So he cried out to God in prayer. "How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me?" Psalm 13 verse 1. David felt abandoned and helpless, as if God had forgotten him. He felt that there was no more hope for him and that his enemies had overcome him. But despite his anguish, David did not lose faith in God. He continues to cry out for his help and mercy. "Consider and answer me, Lord my God, lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death." Psalm 13 verse 3. David trusted that God would hear his prayers and help him in his time of need. He believed that God was his source of strength and protection, and that he would never abandon him. At the end of Psalm 13, David expressed his renewed trust in God. He sang praises to the Lord and declared that he would trust him forever. "I, however, trust in your mercy, my heart will rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, for he has done me great." Psalm 13 verses 5 to 6. David learned that even when he feels abandoned and helpless, God is always there and listening to our prayers. He gives us strength and hope in our times of greatest need, and he never forsakes us. Psalm 13 is a prayer that speaks to the heart of everyone who has ever felt abandoned or helpless at some point in their lives. Like David, many of us have been in situations where we feel that God is not present or not listening to our prayers. These moments can be difficult and painful, but it's important to remember that God never leaves us and is always there to help us in our needs. David's example shows us that even in difficult times, we can trust God and renew our faith in his mercy and power. By crying out for his help and giving himself to him in prayer, David found comfort and hope in the midst of distress. His prayer teaches us that we can approach God in our needs and trust in his goodness and faithfulness. Psalm 13 is an expression of the spiritual struggle we can all face in our lives, but it is also a testament to God's faithfulness in sustaining and strengthening us in times of trouble. He encourages us to renew our faith in God even when we face difficult times, and we trust him to be our source of strength, protection, and salvation. May we always remember David's words in our own path of faith and find comfort, hope, and renewal in God, in all circumstances of our lives.